March 13th of 2008, I was at home, and 9:20 at night I got a phone call from my son, and he was whispering, and he said, "Mom, I've got the worst headache I've ever had." And he says, I'm really sick. And I said, "Just get to the hospital." And so he made it to the hospital, and I paced around the house until about 1:15 in the morning, and the emergency room doctor called and said that my son Rich had bleeding in the brain. So I said, "We'll be there immediately." So we packed everything that we could and left and made it to San Diego first thing the next morning, because Rich had been living in San Diego. And doctor came into the room and said that that Rich had a brain tumor and he had to remove it. And he passed away on October 11th, 2008, 1 week after his 29th birthday. After I could make it out of bed and off the couch, I started doing research about cell phones and brain cancer. Eventually, I read about a brain tumor cluster in the political science department at San Diego State University. 4 men, including a graduate student, had gotten brain cancer. 3 of them had died. The graduate student was my son. Since then, I have learned of several more employees, mostly professors who worked in or near the political science building, and 3 more students have gotten brain cancers. I went back to SDSU on the campus about a year after the passing of my son Rich, and I noticed an enormous cell tower that towered above the political science building. After I arrived back home from that trip in 2009, the administration had sent me an epidemiology report written by a doctor. And in this report, he mentions that he has no known knowledge of chemical or radiation concerns, and therefore there are none. And I got on antennasearch.com, and they listed every cell tower within a few miles within the school except for that one tower. So I knew that it was something very unusual, so that's when I started really looking into it further, and actually found documents where the emissions from it were illegal.